expenditure for those who have the better thought textures. So that's why you're going to sort of see people like Francis Ngannou or people who are religiously enlightened are going to be able to sort of manipulate thought textures on a higher level, or manipulate synchronicities on a higher level, because God is going to prioritize um, high quality thought textures over low quality thought textures, and so he will give you more synchronicities to help you achieve it. So like God has been fucking us over lately because we're not enjoying victory, because we could not enjoy victory in the same way we can enjoy defeat, because we were not in love with victory because it was existence, because we were in love with victory because it was victory. Then we got victory snatched from us, and instead we were faced with defeat after defeat after defeat after defeat after defeat, because until we could enjoy the defeat on the same level as a victory, we could not achieve victory. And uh, and basically, until we could already achieve the thought textures, um, we would not be able to achieve the actual heights, right? It's uh, it's just gay. It's just real gay. It makes sense, but it's just really, really, really gay. It's like
Yeah. It
it's
it
just so
two things that come to
there's
mind. And they're kind of related because this conversation is very much related to my previous experience with Jordan Peterson, because he kind of just like primarily talks about this, or at least he used to, back in the good old days. But one of his quotes that I always remember, and I didn't like know about it, like what it like I guess meant at the time when I first heard it like 2 years ago or whatever. But it's interesting to see a new light where he was saying that he had this essentially like a psychedelic vision where his logo was like presented to him, as colorful abstract shapes and stuff, and he had this notion that heaven was constantly in a renewal of perfecting itself. It was constantly in a state of trying to perfect whatever it had. And it's funny that that's being brought up now, and on in the relation to psychology. Just the idea of having your goals and sights in mind to complete those goals will help you complete those goals. I think that's not something like we like for as far as the video goes. We can discuss like the metaphysics of that, but like I very much know there are studies that like prove that, like that if you know what you want, you know why you want it, and you create a plan for that, you are statistically more likely to achieve that. Um,
yeah, yeah. I mean
and
that's
there's like
definitely true.
neuroscience that goes into it.
Yeah, that's all definitely true. That's all the confidence studies I've quoted before, but it's just there's just something gayer. It's just those goddamn synchronicities. Like
Maybe we should like read some books on manifestation and just see what they have to say. Maybe it ties in.
wow, I've tried a little bit. I mean I've looked into like some of the shit, but like I said, I know why it's wrong. It's because what at least what the incorrect version of manifestation believes is that whatever you manifest you will get, right? So if you sit around thinking all day about negative thought textures, then you will achieve negative thought textures. But like I said, I don't think I believe in negative synchronicities anymore. Like I don't think I believe in a net negative synchronicity. I don't think. And now I mean I could literally just witness this and witness me being incorrect if there was like a person who's had really bad luck around me, like synchronicity bad luck. Um like I
But then,
don't
could you
think
ever definitively prove that that does not improve the whole, like, the universe as a whole? Like, if someone's having bad luck, well, what if that made someone's day better? Like, there would be no way to like get an answer on
no,
that.
no, 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 on one hand you can't, but on the other hand you can like you can you like there would be examples that would be convincing. Like in other words, if someone's life was just like if someone expected their life to be like just horrible, and then like you watch it and like literally it never relinquished until they inevitably got hit by a bus, it's like unless that person was just going to become Hitler or something, like, and I guess you'll never be able to know whether or not they were. But it's like if you could just speak to them, know them, and understand that person well enough to understand that like that person had and would never harbor violent or genocidal intentions or anything. And yeah, again, I guess even then you don't know if they could have maybe snapped and gone insane to a degree where they weren't themselves in the capacity which you knew them. But you know what I mean? Like you could still get a convincing enough example that was like, by no understandable metric was that man dangerous, and yet his life was inconceivably negative until the point where he was inevitably killed in the way he would have expected. Like that would be an example of like, oh no, you can do negative synchronicities. You can absolutely do negative synchronicities, and you can make your whole life a hell by just expecting your life to be a hell. But like that to me, like that that would be just weird. It would just be too weird. It would be like,
Well, what
what
if
the fuck?
I guess what if he
Go ahead.
let that happen? As in, he's like, because that is what you were quote unquote manifesting, or what you were like wanting or getting, then that is
No,
what's
no,
given to you.
no. Yet again, I just it doesn't that does not make sense to me. It's like, why would God, like, God does not factor what you want. Like that's not what how God like he's blind to that. He does not you are not a thing to him. You're not real. You don't exist in any real capacity. God is not caring about you to the degree where he's like, well, this is what your inner eye is wanting. Like it's just that isn't true. It's not. There's nothing about that which could, or it's not that it couldn't. It's that there's nothing about that which rings true in light of any of the other ideas of ego dissolution or anything else, like any of the broader, greater picture understandings where you just love yourself. Does that make any sense? Like God isn't like that. He's not like a fucking bully. He doesn't take people like Genji and then just fucking squeeze them like oranges, right? Like he, he, he doesn't care about you enough to do that. He literally does not even give a shit enough about you to do that. Um,
But I guess that's kind of
so
what I'm saying. Like, he does not care. So he like there's a sense of freedom to what you are
okay,
allowed to
no,
get.
okay, okay. But then Trevor, now what you're saying is that okay, so God does not care. So what you're saying is God is not going to manage your synchronicities. So now what you're saying is that the negative synchronicities are going to be unmanaged synchronicities. So what you just said is that